Welcome to Mind Prosperity. I'm so excited to be with you today, and I'm so excited to talk to you. I want to ask you a favor. Leave some comments, leave some questions. That will really help us to know what we can talk to you guys about in the future. What are some of your needs? Leave it in the comments, and we will do some videos on it. So I'm very excited to be here with you guys. Mind Prosperity, for those of you who are here for the first time, we believe that where your mind goes, your life follows. And what do I believe by mind? Your thinking, your imagination, your decisions. And a lot of that is sometimes negatively influenced by undealt with bad emotions. And that is one thing that we really focus on, to help you to deal with some emotional things so that you can have a clear mind, so that you can have a good mindset, and so that you can get forward in life. That's really what we want to do. So today I have a very exciting teaching for you guys. We're going to speak about anxiety and fear, but we're going to specifically speak about what's the difference between anxiety and fear. When is it anxiety? When is it fear? And how to deal with it. Okay, so I hope you are ready. I remember the first time I encountered a snake. And this was not either fear or anxiety. I was at the zoo, and I think this was about almost 17 years ago. I think I was about 17, 18 years old. I hope my math is not failing me right now. But I remember we went to the zoo and we looked at the animals. First we bought food, because that's what I do every single time when I just enter a place. We bought food, we looked at some of the animals, and then we came to the reptiles. This one guy who worked here just randomly brought a snake to me. I remember that it had like red and black spots on it, so this guy normally just randomly brought a snake to me as if it's nothing. And he handed me the snake. So like any normal person, I took the snake, and yeah, it kind of like sailed over my body, and it felt like a very good massage. But at that time I was very afraid of spiders. And I remember like in the, you don't call it cages, what do you call it, where they put the spiders in if you go to a reptile place? Well, it was these glass cases, if I can say. No, not an aquarium. It was these glass cases where they put the spiders in. And I have the snake on my body, but the spider was way over there in this glass case, if you can say it like that. And I wasn't worried about the snake. I was kind of like okay with the snake, because I didn't have a fear for snakes, but I was anxious about the spider. I didn't fear the spider, I was anxious about the spider. If he took out the spider and he actually brought the spider to me, then I would have had fear. I had anxiety because the spider was over there, it was in the glass case, and there was no immediate threat from the spider. If he took the spider out, brought it to me, then I would have had fear. Like you guys are like, you're speaking about a spider in a cage, in a cage, while you have the snake all around you. Like that was really nice, because my physical touch person felt like the snake was massaging me. I wanted to get a snake just for that, but then they said I have to feed him live mice, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so please don't send me what I should feed a snake, other ways you can feed a snake if you want one. That's not what the message is about. This is the difference, and if you didn't get the difference from the example, this is the difference. So let's look at fear. Fear is an uncomfortable emotional reaction caused by an immediate danger or an imminent threat. It's real or perceived. It's something that's here, it's right now, it's in the present, and I can experience it right now. Okay, that's fear. So like I said, if they took the spider out of the case and brought it to me, that would have been fear. The fact that the spider was over there in the case, that's anxiety. So now I'm gonna tell you what anxiety is. It's an uncomfortable emotional reaction caused by perceived danger, unfocused fear caused by various stimuli. This can be a real or perceived future threat. So the difference between the two, fear is right here, it's right now, it's immediate, and it's almost like I can experience it right now. If you're afraid of dogs, fear would be a dog is actually right in front of me barking or running towards me. Anxiety will be, I'm driving to somebody's house, do they have dogs? What if they have dogs? That's anxiety. So fear is a specific thing, a specific cause. Fear is present, it's right now, and fear is objective, it's rational. Like I can pinpoint to it, there it is. Where anxiety, there's no clear cause. It's more future focused, and it's subjective, meaning it's more of a personal opinion. Okay, so two people drive in the same car. One is afraid of dogs, the other one isn't. One is anxious, one isn't. So it has a lot to do with your perception on the situation and what do I feel about it. So where do they overlap? So a lot of times fear and anxiety overlaps, meaning it feels like the same thing. They overlap because they both causes psychological arousal. With both fear and anxiety, you have this arousal, heated kind of like heart pounding, sweating kind of feeling with both of them. Both include the following 4 things: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So what is fight, flight, freeze, or fawn? And I do say, like, fear, it includes it more like in a real way. So the fight or flight or freeze or fawn response when it comes to anxiety is more something in your mind. It's kind of like you're fighting, you're fleeing in your mind. But you can also do it like really. So same as, again, I'm driving in the car, I'm on my way to a place where there's going to be spiders. I can be like in the car, like fighting. I want to run away. Freezing, fawning is like getting everybody's opinion on it. So you can do that with anxiety as well. Fight is when you actually, they say in the fight response, blood goes to your hands. That's normally when you feel the emotion anger. You are ready to fight this thing, right? And a person with a fight response, they will fight something that's not even a threat because they fear it. Okay, so if the dog comes at you, the dog doesn't actually want to do something with you, but you're like, shoo, get away because of fear. Flight obviously is when you run away from the situation. Freeze is when you just stand still. So when it comes to fear, when the spider would be presented to me, I would be like, when in anxiety, I'm still on my way to the reptile place and already I'm like freezing. And then fawn is kind of when you become a people pleaser. That's some people's reaction. Like, I don't want anybody to be angry with me because of what I'm doing. So both fear and anxiety have those responses within them. How to deal with anxiety. How to deal with anxiety. I'm not going to tell you in this video how to deal with anxiety. This is why. I have 2 videos available on my channel on how to deal with anxiety. We will put the videos in. So if you want to know how to deal with anxiety, please go check out these videos. The one is called Dealing with Anxious Thoughts, and the other one is called Overcoming Anxiety. So you can either click the links, or you can go search for Dealing with Anxious Thoughts and Overcoming Anxiety. 2 videos I have on my channel. But in this session today, I'm going to explain to you guys how to deal with fear. So, and remember, we get into this situation. Sometimes we have anxiety, sometimes we have fear, and we get into these situations. So I'm going to give you a few points on how to deal with fear. Before I get there, I want to encourage you to like, to subscribe, to share this video if you believe it's going to help other people. We obviously believe it will. So if you'd be so kind to share it to your friends, to your family. And you know, we're also trusting on this channel to go to 500 subscribers. So if you can subscribe, that'll be great. Also, I do sessions on emotional intelligence, mindset, mental health, mental wealth. I do this in businesses. I do this with groups, with families, with individuals. So if you are interested, please email me and we can give you more information. Also, please feel free to visit our website at www.mindprosperity.co.za. There's a lot of nice material that you guys can purchase that will help you. So feel free to do that. Okay, so how to deal with fear, how to overcome fear. Now, let me just say this, fear is not always a bad thing. If there's a real threat and you don't have fear, this thing can destroy you. Okay, so fear is not always a bad thing. You get a healthy fear, you get an unhealthy fear. Okay, so we're going to speak about how to deal with an unhealthy fear. So let me just say, what is a healthy fear? If I go home, there's a bear in my backyard, a healthy fear will cause me to leave the premises. Okay, if I don't have that fear, the bear is going to kill me. Okay, that's actually why we do have fear. It's for protection. With normal people, if a snake approaches you, fear will be like, get out of the room, don't touch it. It can harm you. So there is something like a healthy fear. Okay, a healthy fear says if the traffic light is red, don't keep on driving. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt someone else. That's healthy. Okay, an unhealthy fear paralyzes you. An unhealthy fear causes you not to go forward. And we're going to speak today on how to deal with it. And the reason I'm saying some fear can be good, today's lesson is not about how to get rid of fear, because fear can sometimes be good. If you totally get rid of it, there will not be protection, but how to deal with an unhealthy fear. And we can say we can get rid of an unhealthy fear, definitely. So number 1, do not try to resist fear, or do not try to fight it. You know, so many people is like, I just want to get rid of it. I just want to get rid of it. Like, this is like almost like, I just want to get this out of my life. And we've seen that doesn't help to get rid of fear. The main thing you want to do is you want to acknowledge it and you want to question why it's there. If you can acknowledge that it's there and you can question, what do I have to deal with? Why is this there? That is a very healthy approach to go forward. So the first question you ask yourself, or the first thing you do, is you don't resist it, but you do ask a question when you feel fear. You ask yourself, is this a healthy fear or is this an unhealthy fear? What is the difference? A healthy fear is there for protection, and unhealthy fear paralyzes you to go forward. So you ask yourself, is this fear good? Is this fear not good? If you are struggling with that, to answer that question, ask some people, is this something everybody is afraid of, or is it just me? If everybody is afraid of it, it can be protection. If it's just me, then, there might be it might paralyze you. Then ask yourself the question, the next thing you can do, ask yourself the question, is this something that I truly should fear? Is it normal to fear this? You get people who are afraid of things that they actually shouldn't be afraid of. And I'm not going to name examples right now because, some people might get angry with me, but you should ask yourself the question, is this really a dangerous thing? Like, let me use this example. When I was young, I was afraid of escalators. Thought like, this thing is going to really, really hurt me because I don't know why, but it wasn't something you should actually be afraid of. So ask yourself the question, is this something that I should be afraid of? Then the next thing, be realistic about the outcome, but visualize the best outcome. So this is where fear can go into anxiety, where people actually, they visualize the worst outcome. Remember what we said about anxiety is like it's a perceived threat in the future. So if you fear something now and you have this perceived threat that this thing can be bad in the future, this fear can cause anxiety. Why do I say be realistic about it? Because if you're not realistic about it, you won't deal with it. But be realistic in dealing with it and say, but listen, this can actually work out for the best, or I can visualize and imagine the best outcome that can come out of this. So, and the next thing I want to say, if it's a unhealthy fear, lean into your fear if it's safe. Okay, so if it's a healthy fear, like I fear the bear in my backyard, then please don't lean into it. It can hurt you. But for me, the way I overcame my fear of escalators, I had to climb on one. If you have a fear of an elevator, climb in one, right? Maybe in a more protective environment, in a safe environment with somebody that you trust, but get exposed to the situation if the situation is safe. If you don't know if the situation is safe, ask other people. If other people say, no, don't jump off here, it's too high, then okay, it's a healthy fear. And the more you lean into it, the more you will see there's nothing to be afraid of, the more you will get used to it, and the more it will help. Okay, the final thing I want to say on how to overcome a fear is talk about it. You don't necessarily have to go to a therapist for this, but unless it's at a severe stage, but you can talk to a trusted friend, you can talk to a trusted leader if there are some things that you have to work through. But like I said, if it's at a severe stage, you can go to a counselor or a therapist to help you. But talking, and I also want to say this, talk to somebody who's not going to judge you or make you feel bad or laugh at you because of this, but they really have a heart to help you. Okay, so I hope this video helped you to teach you guys about the difference between fear and anxiety and how to deal with it. Like I said earlier, if you guys want to check out our videos on dealing with anxiety, they are available. Thank you so much for watching. From Mind Prosperity, we love you, and we will see you soon again. Goodbye.